In this video, I'm going to give you the key steps towards writing an outstanding personal statement. Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dr. Hilton, and if you're applying to medicine, dentistry, or really anything where you have to write a personal statement, I'm going to give you the key steps that you're going to need to make sure that you write one that gets people's attention for the selectors, gets you invited to interview, and that will ultimately guide the way that the interview goes and make the whole process a lot smoother. So we'll go through them in a pretty logical order, but at the end, I'm going to tell you the number one biggest mistake that people make and the number one thing that you need to do to make sure you write an outstanding personal statement. Before we dive in, let's take a step back and look at what is the purpose of the personal statement. Well, the personal statement very simply is there to get you to be invited to interview, and that's really it. And within that, the way that we're going to get invited to interview is by demonstrating three things. Those are the motivation, so why you want to do medicine, your exploration, so what you've done to confirm that desire, and finally your suitability, showing that you have the traits of what will make a good doctor. So let's start with the first key step. One of the most important things that I say to students is to make sure that you create some sort of information bank. Now, if you haven't already, there's a video that I called Gathering Information for Your Personal Statement, which is about 5 or 7 minutes on exactly how to do this, so check that out here. But essentially what we're saying here is, instead of sitting down to try and write your personal statement and get all the magic down in 1 or 2 sittings, here what we're doing is creating a system where we capture everything that you've done, all the great little bits, and this isn't just the achievements that you've made, but it's going to be good sentences that you've written as you're exploring more things about the medical career, some experience that you've had in the past, and then you reflect on them and you see things in a different light, or you think, oh, actually that experience I didn't realize at first, but now that I know more, illustrated good teamwork or good leadership, or any of the traits that you want to demonstrate when you're trying to convince someone that you want to be and are suitable to be a good doctor. So this information bank is really good for several reasons. The first being that when you come to sit down and write your personal statement, it means that instead of trying to magic things up out of thin air, you're just going to be taking a document and transferring the things that you want to slot in to create the narrative of why you should be selected to become a doctor. The second thing is that it allows you the time and space to capture everything that you might possibly want to include. In my one-on-one sessions with my elite program students, we go through this in depth and really make a really strong and robust information reservoir is what I call it. And we can do that on a few places. Maybe your phone where you have notes, so if you're going for a walk in the park and you've got time to think and you get inspired, you can write something down. Because this can be anything from diary entries, which I highly recommend that you do, or even good sentences or lines that you think of while you're feeling inspired. And then you can have one on your computer desktop. So essentially whatever situation you're in, if inspiration strikes, you have somewhere to capture it. And this is a really important thing no matter what you're doing. I wish that I did this more often whenever I've had good ideas for talks that I want to give, or any research that I want to do, or projects that I want to take on. Sometimes I have these amazing ideas and fail to write them down, and then either forget them or just don't quite capture it the way I wanted to when that wave of inspiration struck me the very first time. 2 more reasons why I think that this is a fantastic thing to do, even if you're just about to sit down and write your personal statement. And the reason that I dedicated a whole video to it is because this is going to serve as a pre-interview preparation information bank as well. It's going to give you a reminder of all the things that you did. Like I say, if you keep a diary, which I strongly recommend, of your work experience, this is somewhere you can store it and refresh your memory before you walk into your interview. And also, because you've got all this list of amazing things that you've done and great experiences and inspirations that you've had, it's going to serve as a confidence booster for whenever you may be going into interview and want to convince yourself that you really do deserve that spot. The next thing we're going to talk about is structure and opening lines. Now remember that thing I said about motivation, exploration, and suitability? The personal statement and the way that we structure it is going to be divided to cater for all 3 of those subjects. So if you were to check out my personal statement online course, you would see that I recommend that you divide your personal statement roughly into 6. Now this doesn't have to be strictly into 6, but it helps you as a starting point for where to divide the word count. And in those 6, we're going to have 2/6, so a third dedicated to why you want to study medicine. Then we're going to do 3/6, so half of it on your work experience, remembering that work experience includes shadowing, volunteering, and any paid work that you've done. Also here you might want to include the further reading that you've done, whether that be lectures you've attended or books you've read, etc. And then the final 6th I recommend dedicating to your extracurricular activities. Now this is the one where sometimes you can say anything from a 6th, so what's that, 16.7%, up to 20 25%. Don't feel bad here if you're using up to 25%, especially if you've got lots of stuff and lots of great outstanding achievements or demonstrations of traits that make you suitable to be a good doctor. And there's certainly an optimal way to order this to give this the best possible flow. And from my experience with helping students with personal statements, I think that there certainly is a specific order in which you can do this that will give people the best chance of getting in. And like I say, on a short video like this, I don't really have the time to kind of go into the weeds with all of this. But if you want to check out that online course, we go into a lot of depth about structure and how to order your personal statement. Another thing I get asked a lot about is opening and closing lines. And actually I made another video here that you can go and watch to help you with that. But generally, what you want to do is just transition and segue into the meat of the personal statement as much as possible. On the course, we talk about the 3 reasons why people might choose to study medicine. But what's more important is how that initial spark led you to the series of experiences that led you to be where you are today, which is the final decision of definitely wanting to pursue a career in medicine. And in that video that I recommended, we talk about all the cliches to avoid and how to get around it. And then finally, for the closing line, all that needs to be is a high-level summary of all the things that you've talked about. Just like the conclusion of any essay, you don't introduce anything new, you just summarize all the experiences and things and end up with a really strong why of why you want to study medicine. 4th key step is to make your work experience shine as much as possible. The most important part of your work experience is the reflection. It doesn't really matter what you did or how much you did, so much as what you took away from the experience. And because of that, I advocate a style called claim, corroborate, and link back. So basically you say what you did, what you gained out of it, and how that is going to link back towards helping you or teaching you or something that's going to contribute to your career as a medic. If you can stick to that very frank, matter-of-fact style and not cloud it with lots of flowery, useless language, then that is going to read like a very mature personal statement and it's going to be one that grabs people's attention and stops them getting bored. One of the modules that we cover in depth on the online course is what to do if you've not got the greatest work experience and how to get around that and kind of still make an outstanding personal statement despite kind of being lacking in that area. There are some clever tricks that we can do to get around this hurdle. You'll actually be surprised how easy it is with these tricks to kind of not be impeded by the lack of work experience that you have. When it comes to the extracurricular activities part, what you want to do is try and demonstrate that you have the traits that they want to see that make a good doctor. Now, the most intelligent way to go about this is to look at the GMC Good Practice Guidelines, because they literally list all the traits that they want to see in their doctors. If you want to be even smarter about it, pick the universities that you're going to apply to and look on their websites, as they themselves usually list the traits that they want to see. So if you've got 4 universities and they have some traits that overlap, make sure you definitely demonstrate those with some of your extracurricular activities on your personal statement. I think we're on number 6 now. Style and the way that you write. So firstly, SPAG, so spelling and grammar, is kind of almost an entry-level non-negotiable point. If your spelling or your grammar is off, it just simply is going to annoy the person and probably make them throw it in the bin. But the thing I want to get across, and probably what is the most important point of the entire personal statement, is to focus on the style that you write with. Just last weekend, I did a personal statement workshop with my elite group, and I talked to them about a book that literally the first 20 pages of it have completely revolutionized the way that I write. This is a book by Richard Lanham called Revising Prose, and actually I talk about it in this video here, where I talk about the 4 books that are going to be the best to improve your written English. But I honestly can't stress to you enough just how great this book is. The first 20 pages provided that eye-opening moment that have completely changed the way that I write. And as they say, that writing is one of those force multiplier skills, so one of those skills that if you're good at that, it makes everything in life a lot easier. And this will not only contribute to your personal statement writing and make you write in a really direct, kind of mature, really eloquent style, but actually it's going to help with you writing essays for the rest of your life. And I'll link to the book below, and I got it for about £7, but I think at the moment I just had a look on Amazon when I recommended it to my elite group, and I saw that it's on there for about 30 quid, but honestly I still think that it's probably the best investment that you'll ever make in your academic life. Because that brings me on to the biggest mistake that people make, which is trying to be overly clever in the style that they write in. They try and use this flowery kind of over-exuberant language that just is trying to sound clever but actually confuses the point. When my elite members show me their personal statement to review, I get so many where I just look at the sentence and I think, what the hell is this saying? It's confused with so many words that are just trying to make it sound really clever, but actually serve to do the complete opposite, which is make it hard to understand and kind of you lose the point from the start of the sentence to it finishing. So use clear, simple language Don't try and use big words that are going to make you sound clever, because they're actually probably going to serve to do the exact opposite. And like I say, if you're willing to invest in that book, you can check out this video again where I talk about it in more depth, because I think it'll probably be not only the best £30 that you spend for your academia, but the best £30 that you spend towards your personal statement, probably even more so than my online course. And that's because there are so many personal statements that when they send them to me, they think that they sound great or sound clever, but actually they are so cringeworthy, and people don't even realize until they've sent them to me and I point things out that they realize and go, oh yes, of course. So this is why that book, my online course, these will help you just completely get rid of all of that stuff. So the final few steps are about review and kind of getting your teacher reference. Now I won't talk too much about the teacher reference because I've got an entire video dedicated that I'll link to here, but review is really important. Ideally, it's good to get at least one person in the industry to have a look at your personal statement, but always the golden rule is for the final version or the final revision that you get someone to look at, try and get someone who's a very good English writer. So if you know any journalists or people who write for a living or do lots to do with written language, they are the people to get to have a look as a once over for the kind of final proof before you submit it. And of course, at the moment on the Elite program, we're doing lots of personal statement workshops and one-on-one feedback sessions where we really hammer out the personal statement. So if you wanted to get involved with that and have us coach you one-on-one, you can find the link in the description where it's application only. Or if you wanted to check out a video where I give you a step-by-step guide for how to write a really strong personal statement, you can check out this video, which is probably going to appear in the next few days. So thanks for watching and best of luck writing that personal statement.